Hi, I'm Tony Lombardi with Russell Street Report, and this morning I'm joined by one of our key contributors to Russell Street Report, Dev Panchwagh. Dev, welcome in. How are you this morning?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, Tony.
Absolutely. So, big news this morning. The Ravens had been talking about improving their offensive line. Eric DeCosta didn't waste any time. The new league year doesn't start until Wednesday, March 17th at 4 p.m., but he got a street free agent, which is kind of key because he doesn't factor into the comp picks, Kevin Zeitler. So your thoughts on that signing?
I think it's a great fit, and he's someone obviously they're familiar with playing at Cleveland, and he's still playing at a very high level. Ended up going to the Giants and got lost in the shuffle there, but I think it's a clear indication they wanted to upgrade at right guard. They had a lot of kind of just a revolving door there last season, and going back to Marshall Yonda, that's a pivotal position for them in the scheme, in the run scheme in particular. So I think it's a fantastic move and good fit all around.
And what do you think it says about guys like Ben Powers and the other guys that they have there, Ben Bredesen? What do you think it says about them? They're not happy?
Well, I don't know if it's that. I do think left guard and center. Well, left guard, we know Bozeman is manning left guard. If they do move him to center, it opens up some possibilities. I don't know if it's that they don't like him. They just might not feel comfortable with them all the way. Just going into such an important season to just say, here are the keys. Like, we're going to hand you the keys. And clearly, last year they had some ups and downs. I think Powers played better towards the end of the season, but he also had some games where he just didn't play very well, and maybe they just want some more consistency, and Zeitler is just a guy you can't pass up.
Right. Dev, I think that they're going to stay put with Bozeman at left guard. I think they're going to either get a center in the draft or also in free agency, because I just think they're committed to making this offensive line strong. They want to take out that question mark surrounding Lamar and the resources available to him. I think with a stout offensive line, it might eliminate some of the problems that they've had in the passing game.
Absolutely. We all, I think, kind of had an idea that center, maybe guard to a lesser extent. Now, how would they go about the kind of the flow of that, or what would be the first steps to getting to that point? I think they went right guard first, just because maybe that's the best player, best fit, most important position to get nailed down first. But this is a really good center draft class as well. Guys that can be plug and play from day one. And then you also have still a good market for center at free agency. Even there's nothing to say they won't go after like Lindsley just because they put down the money on Zeitler. I could fully see them going all in on both positions.
And we don't know the details of the contract yet, but I'm sure Brian McFarland will have that soon. But if you look at with the 3 years 22, right, 10 guaranteed, that's a reasonable contract for a guy of this ilk.
Absolutely. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, that's a really perfect deal for the Ravens, because it seems like, Tony, on the face of it, I don't know the mechanics, we'll find out when they have Zeitler do his press conference, but it just looks like a guy that's been playing for some bad teams, wants to win, and they got him in. He's at 31 right now. It just, why would you, what does the money have to be a big factor for, right? He's made plenty of money. So not to discount the money, it's still good money, but it's not a market setting deal. So it's still, fully enables them to still add talent elsewhere.
Right. And now if you think back to when he signed with Cleveland, because he started with the Bengals, signed with Cleveland, and he was the highest paid guard at that time in NFL history. Yeah. So that tells you what the league thinks of him as well. And in fact, that he's in the AFC North, I think probably the familiarity really bodes well for the Ravens.
Absolutely. And just on this note, he's a top 10. I'd still say he's a top 10 guard. Right guard, maybe one of the better players at this age. But then you still have Brown for now. And then you have Stanley coming back. So you still have 2 top 5 offensive tackles. Bozeman's a good ball player. This is a good line already on paper.
I agree. We'll see what they do with the center position. Thanks, Dev.
Yes. Thank you, Tony.